All right. Welcome to Geek Outings in the age of love in the Rona virus. Editor coming out of San Antonio, Texas.
All right, Bobby Joel Cole here. Happy to chime in again. From sunny Venice Beach, Southern California. It's a little bit from Santa Monica where I'm actually at in my little home studio because we're on lockdown, entering week 2 of the lockdown. We're going to talk about what we're doing to have fun during this coronavirus quarantine.
What up? It is Boba Fresh, San Francisco, coming at you with the best in the West, the things that geeks want to watch this week. Hope you are staying safe inside, and if you are an essential personnel, we thank you from the Geek Out.
Rob Lucy coming at you from Southern Oregon, week 2 on lockdown. Looking forward to hearing what my fellows have been binging and what our watchers have been binging. I want to hear from you guys out there what suggestions you might have after watching this. Let's kick it off. What have you been binging, Ed?
I am a Disney Plus slut like I was when it first started, and that's all I do, man. I've watched Avengers Assemble from beginning to end. I've also watched Iron Man from the 90s from beginning to end, and it hurt. It hurt a little bit. Fantastic Four 2. There is also something called Tiger King on Netflix I've heard about that I've watched twice. That is fucking amazing. That's all.
Is that worth? Wait. You say fucking amazing. I don't know if you're having a little like tongue-in-cheek moment here because it's the kind of like cool thing that people are talking about. I'm hearing it from a bunch of different people. Is it really amazing, or is it just like it's worth watching?
No, it's a fucking insane story. It literally doesn't make sense, and if it was scripted, you would not hire that writer ever. It makes no sense, and these people's lives are intertwined in a phenomenally, insanely twisted way. I'm 3 episodes in, and it's turned into a book that I do not want to finish. Except for
Hold on. Did you get here yet, Strutter?
Oh, no. Not even for a while.
No, it's Strutter. That's episode. Isn't that episode 3?
No, it's like 5.
No.
Yeah,
This is the dangerous part about talking to friends that have seen it.
Anybody. Don't spoil it, Ed. We don't talk about
Okay, I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say something about that series. That shit is only possible in America.
America.
No, America. There's no way that's happening any other country on the planet except for here.
I'll say
I'm proud of you.
the best way for me to describe it without spoiling it is I kept thinking through the entire documentary, this is fake. They're going to come out at the end and like, gotcha. Because I thought it was like,
Oh,
this is so unbelievable.
You're like, there's no way these people are really these people.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
okay. Also, as an editor, like for whatever, I watched another documentary that was an hour and a half from a year ago about him, and just seeing the choices in terms of editing and the way they spliced it, and there's a lot of things that are left out, obviously. So what I really enjoyed about it was that it's Jerry Springer, and I feel like America has been needing to scratch that itch for a while. And I think definitely in this time of us being super scared, super serious, and super focused on the Rona, it was literally probably the antivirus to the Rona was this show, because it's like just like Jerry Springer was. Jerry Springer was a distraction, for a long time, and Richard Bay, all those shows, Jenny Jones, I know about that. This dropped at the right time, and it made people jump into it. I love it, man. Like I said, I watched it twice, and I've watched another YouTube documentary. I don't know if it was YouTube, but another documentary, and the way that looked compared to Tiger King on Netflix, it's day and night, man. They focused on different things, and there's a lot of stuff that you have to really, really give credit to the people that like made that documentary, because it wasn't like they
What time period is it? It looks 90s because of the mullets, but maybe I'm just assuming.
Well,
late 90s, early like 2000s, early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
well, they filmed it over 5 years, I believe,
Mhm.
and I think it started off as them wanting to, just document this guy who's like a fucking weirdo. He's like, not a weirdo. He's just an interesting person with a lot of charisma, which is why, when we play our role-playing games, I wanted to create Tiger King as a character. His
Okay.
mental manipulation is over Xavier, 100%. Over Mastermind, over anybody.
So it's totally recommended by all three of you, even though Red Ward's Boba Fresh, you've only gotten 3 episodes in. But you're like, it's already a book you don't want to end. So, I mean,
Yeah,
all right, I'm going to check it out. I mean, that's probably going to be my next thing, then.
No, I mean, if there's anything that I recommend off of this episode to people, is if you haven't seen Tiger King by now, you need to. That's it.
Nice.
Oh, recommendation.
Well, as a distraction, we're talking about, things that we watched during the Rona thing, during the, I've heard it also called the Mageddon. The Mageddon. As we roll as we roll through this Mageddon.
Oh my God, really? So Armageddon is happening, but you're still just too lazy to say the whole word. You just gotta like zod out, brah. Like,
I think it's also a minority thing where we put some flavor on something that's not really good. So Mageddon sounds better than Armageddon. So the Mageddon and the Rona too. No, I'm seriously though, like
am I getting tired of all these stupid abbreviations?
Oh shit, man! You gonna go dad joke on me? Seriously, in this time of focusing on a lot of things that are not great and you're scared of, and a lot of fear involved, this is a show that will definitely distract you, and it will make you talk about something besides what's going on, which normally I would not advise or be in favor of, but I think it's necessary right now because I'm essential, and that means I go to work and I have to deal with people that are scared and stuff all the time. And I feel like I've been talking about this for 3 days, and I got other people at work talking about this for the past 2 days.
So, great recommendation. Ed, I have also binged that. Of course, Bobby, what have you been spending your free time watching or binging?
Well, you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that, Ed, because I'm a firm believer in that too, that especially while life is so serious and people are focusing on that, it's really easy to get caught up in it. So I try to counteract that by binging something that's just a little bit over the top wacky. I think that's why also Scrubs is one of my favorite shows. That might be next on my binging list. But right now I'm into Parks and Rec, and I'm more than halfway through, and it's great. I mean, Leslie Knope is a character, Amy Poehler. Then once they brought in Adam Scott, I was like, oh, the chemistry was so cool. So I've been binging that just because it is just great rewatchability, a lot of laughter there. Something I saw that did interest me, I thought I wanted to let you know, Robert Lucy. So the original, not the original, but the better version, the remake of Battlestar Galactica is now all brought back, so you can watch this during the quarantine. But it's on one of the channels that has, in my opinion, the worst rebranding ever, which is when Sci-Fi went to Syfy, and it sounds like it's a website you go to check if you have syphilis or not. But yeah, Syfy has all the episodes of the best Battlestar Galactica series that's out. That's on my list. And for our over 18 fans, Pornhub is actually giving a free month during this quarantine. No credit card needed, no anything. Yeah, a friend told me, and so I'm telling friends.
Should have started with that. Yeah, we should have opened with that.
Good.
What about you, Strutter? What have you been checking out?
They say don't bury the headlines there, Bobby. You gotta start with the marquee picture, the opening acts. We can find out later. Yeah, I think I've fallen into a similar routine during these times of isolation and seriousness, and watching how much news and information I take in, and try to balance that out with something lighthearted and fun. So yeah, like I'm a huge fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now. Parks and Rec, like you were saying. Office, some 30 Rock. It's really interesting, though. Out of all of those, kind of going to what you were saying, Bobby, Parks and Rec ends up having the most rewatchability. There's the most chemistry, good-hearted stories, resolution of characters. I don't think that there's a show that's ever had a better add-on, because normally when you add extra characters into the mix, like they did with Ben and Chris Traeger.
And I couldn't argue who's better between the two of them. They're both excellent characters. That the show wouldn't be the same without.
And so it's rare that a show can shake it up and lose the quote unquote dead weight. Mark wasn't a very dynamic or interesting character.
Right.
I think that show has really good legs. In the sense of other downtime, I've been doing a lot of Zoom, a lot of role-playing games online with friends just like this. We're going to be doing a fast rip session after this. You can check the link below for the episode that we've already done for Alpha Flight, Aloha Flight. I think that gaming online is something I used to be super adverse to, and out of necessity, I've gotten accustomed to it, and I really enjoy it. It's gotten the opportunity of getting you three together and playing games, and if I just don't know another instance where that would happen. Like if all three of us were together in person, there'd be celebration, there'd be all these other things because the novelty of us being together in person is so rare. But being able to sit down and we can just build a story and tell a story together. And I've got various circles and various games going on, from Dungeon World to Dungeons and Dragons to our Marvel TSR game, which is awesome. So I definitely suggest, in this time of isolation, not isolating yourself. And if you've ever thought about playing a game right now, is a great time to get into it.
I'd also like to say on record that I appreciate everything you do, Rob, because I know being a dungeon master is not easy, and I know you put a lot of work into it. And when I rewatch a lot of stuff, and I remember, I know how much work you put into it. I want you to know that I really appreciate it, and I apologize for last episode.
I appreciate you, Ed. It's not, like I said, it's not the worst table I've ever run.
I kept that in the video for a reason.
And to be honest, at the end of the day, as long as everyone at the table had fun, then that's all that really matters. But I do look forward to our game and seeing where the story develops.
Oh man, I am super pumped, and you can look at my face and know that I'm so fucking ready. Let's end this. Let's end this bitch.
And Lucy has been, I don't want to say badgering me, but he's been very, very
persistent.
He's been very persistent about me getting into Altered Carbon. And I'm on the precipice of the illustrious episode 8 from season 1. And I really like where the story's gone. Visually, I think it's phenomenal. It's a great universe to go into. I understand that part of sci-fi noir is that you're supposed to have a Dick Tracy detective. That's part of the genre itself, but I really do enjoy the look of the world. And there's a tabletop miniature game right now that I'm playing called Infinity that has a lot of aesthetics that just really suck me into that. So whenever I get done watching an episode, it's kind of cool to just chill out and get my paint out and paint up a figure and be inspired.
Dude, I started second season. I remember we talked about that before, but I did, and I'm about 3 episodes in. I was refreshed with everything. It brought it all back, the neural pathways. I mean, there was a lot in the first season to take in.
I have tried multiple times, but you guys are right. It is heady. And it's the anti-CW. That's how I feel. Because I put on every CW show and edit and do whatever. It makes no difference.
That maybe that's why I can't get into CW shows. Maybe we're on the opposite spectrums of heady shows.
To answer your question, Rob, I finished watching the 2nd season of Altered Carbon today. I liked it just as much as the first. You were talking about, and we game here regularly. This show reminds me of a game that Rob and I used to play 13-ish called Shadowrun, where you could be inside the Matrix or you could be like a secret agent outside the Matrix. And I almost think that the creators and writers of this show had played that game in the past, because that's how the world sets up for me. And it's fun to watch them do a good show. And you guys are absolutely, that's not something to watch in the background with all the twists and turns and things like that. The other thing I was going to mention that I've binged is The Tiger King. We've gone on in that. And then The Ultimate Spider-Man with the kids, the 2010, 2015 run or so. It's pretty good. It's got some comedy. There's a lot of levity there. It's good for the kids, I think. And then the second season of The Flash. But lastly, I'd really like to encourage you guys to check out my boy Rob's Comic Explained page. You can think about just about any major story from Marvel or DC, and there's long-form reviews on that and explains the entire story. So kudos to that guy for bringing it out. And if you have any questions about some stories or you want to explore comics a little further, I highly recommend Comics Explained and Dope Spill Comics. And I want to hear from you guys out there. What do you guys think in the audience? I'd love to get some suggestions, your opinions on these shows as well. We're here to interact with each other and stay close at distance. So feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and look forward to some back and forth. Rob Lucy signing out from Southern Oregon.
All right. Editor, San Antonio. Once again, a Disney slut, but I would recommend watching anything on Hulu like Goldberg's, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Fresh Off the Boat. Binge watch those. They're solid shows to this day. So you still get new episodes, but you can also dive into the beginning and watch them grow, which is kind of, what we need right now. We need to watch something that's continuous and still exists, and not watch something that has died.
All right, and on that note, we are all still alive. We will survive, and we will thrive. So I've got some solid recommendations here. I guess I'm going to check out the Tiger King next on my watching list. Highly recommended from my fellow geeks here. And I hope just someone out there, if you see this thing, you check out Battlestar Galactica for the first time. Really quality stuff. You won't regret it. So thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Do the social distancing. Wash your hands a lot. Don't touch your face. And, spend time with the people you love.
6 feet high and rising. That was for you, Ed.
I know. It's why I smiled so hard.
Boba Fresh signing out from San Francisco. Had a great time talking with y'all about this. Excited about a lot of good things that are out there. To reiterate what's been kind of going around, stay positive. Appreciate the arts, appreciate artists. See all this content that we are discussing and are created from people's minds and people's hard work and bleeding fingers. You got to really thank everyone for the content that they are creating, and I hope that the world continues to remember what art has done for us during this time as we're all sequestered and learning our new normal. For those that are lucky enough to be able to afford subscriptions, the Hulus, the Amazon Primes, and Disney Pluses, there's a lot of great stuff that is out there to look into. And as Lucy was saying, some amazing things that you can watch with your family, things that you can just watch by yourself. I would not watch Tiger King with anyone below the age of, I don't know.
I shouldn't ask my cousins if their kids want to watch it. No? Do like a family day? No? I heard there's animals in it.
There are animals in it. You learn a lot about life. I don't know. I actually, at the end of the day, the reason that they're real people is why I cannot say that kids could watch it. If this was a written cautionary tale, if this is a fictional cautionary tale, I think it would be all right. But this is real people. People can make the decision to be these people.
That's America.
But if you're lucky enough to also have Disney Plus, like Ed was saying, go back into Simpsons, season 4, season 5. There's just some amazing stuff that is in there that's super relevant, that's super funny, that truly shows why. Yes, it's been on 25
like 30 years. That's
30
close
years?
to 30 years.
That's crazy talk. And there's a reason. I mean, the foundation that they laid the bricks down in those early seasons, I highly recommend. Hank Scorpio is my man. I can always watch that episode over and over again. Homer, which country do you like least?
He really makes you want a flamethrower, huh?
France or Italy? Yeah, France. No one ever says Italy. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy some of our recommendations. I hope they get you excited to have some much needed distraction and a way to pass the time. And also get out, do a half-hour walk, try to get some fresh air, try to do that, but don't talk to anybody. Don't stay away from people when you do it. But yeah, like be good to yourselves. Geek on and geek out.